Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we take your sources, sometimes really interesting ones, and we dig in to find those crucial bits of knowledge, maybe some surprising insights. Today we're doing something, well, pretty unique actually. Our source material is super specific. It's really, really brief, but I think it's packed with meaning. We're looking at just a tiny snippet of dialogue from a YouTube video transcript. The video is called Gillie in Ludacris video. Hollow Afesin. It's from the 504 Cut Politics and Entertainment channel. But the part we're focusing on is tiny, just a couple of lines. Our mission today, really, for you, is to kind of peel back the layers on this super quick exchange, try to get the immediate context and see what it tells us about, like informal chat, cultural references, all that implied meaning you can stuff into just a few words. It's kind of amazing, actually, how much context can be packed in like that.
Oh, absolutely. That's what's so fascinating, right? How these exchanges that seem almost, throwaway, they can show so much about the cultural knowledge underneath, the dynamics of the conversation. It's not just like shorthand. It's really about shared media literacy almost. The speakers, they're pulling up not just words, but these very specific visual memories, maybe even like performance types from this shared cultural archive, you could say. It really shows how much we rely on these unspoken visual things.
Super efficient, yeah, but also so specific to a time and place.
Okay, right. Let's unpack this specific bit then. So here's the whole exchange we've got. That you had one leg in there, right? No, it wasn't out there. Was it that Ludacris bitch all you need right there? Like he was popping it. Yeah, that was him.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, I wasn't doing that. Okay, so that first line. Then you have one leg in there, right?
Right.
What hits you first about that? What's implied there? Well, it jumps right out that it's about a very specific action.
Yeah.
Probably something you'd remember visually, right?
Mm-hmm.
A pose, maybe. Linguists might talk about common ground here. That, shared knowledge, the assumptions that let us talk so quickly, they're not asking something general. They're definitely working from some kind of shared, very specific picture in their heads. It's pretty clear they both know exactly what one leg in there means.
Yeah.
So the question is just like a quick check, not asking for new info.
Yeah. And then it goes straight into that really interesting follow-up. You wasn't that Ludacris bitch all you need right there.
Yeah.
That's not just asking were you in the video. It's like, were you that specific person or playing that role?
Yeah.
That's a real deep cut, isn't it?
Totally. It's about embodying a specific identity.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes you wonder, how fast do these really specific roles from pop culture become just like common currency, part of how we talk every day, almost like shared words? In this context, Ludacris bitch. Well, it isn't necessarily derogatory. It's almost certainly like an iconic label, a shortcut identifier for a very specific, maybe kind of flamboyant or memorable background person. Someone from that Ludacris video, known for a certain move maybe, or just a strong visual. It's just a really quick way to point to a very recognizable specific role, assuming, the listener gets the reference. They have that shared cultural script.
And the denial is just, it's really something. It's not a simple no. It's this like layered, really strong pushback. No, I wasn't out there like you wasn't that Ludacris bitch all you need right there. Like he was popping it. That was him. Yes, sir. I wasn't doing that. What does that tell us? About how significant being that Ludacris bitch or doing that action was perceived to be.
Right. It tells us it was significant enough that you deny it that strongly. Vehemently, even. That double, no, I wasn't. It's meant to be absolutely clear, unequivocal, like I was not involved in that specific way, or I wasn't playing that role. And crucially, they immediately point the finger elsewhere, right? He was popping it, that was him, yes, sir. So it's not just denying it for themselves, it's redirecting. It cements who did do the thing they're talking about, confirms that shared visual memory again.
So when they say popping it, that verb, that really pins down the action, doesn't it? Makes that shared reference even stronger.
It does, yeah. Popping it here is clearly about that distinctive move or dance, that Ludacris bitch was supposedly known for in the video. It's a verb tied right to a specific performance, probably energetic, maybe flamboyant, like you said, just another bit of shorthand, instantly understood if you share that memory.
Okay, so we've sort of peeled back the layers on this quick chat, but what does it suggest, maybe more broadly, about how fast internet culture cooks up these shared ways of talking and maybe how fast they disappear too? It's almost like a little linguistic time capsule.
Absolutely. Yeah, time capsule is a good way to put it. This little bit really highlights how incredibly efficient communication can be within an in-group. right? People who share that specific cultural background. It's powerful for bonding, sure, but also just fascinating to see how temporary these online fame moments or shared cultural bits can be. Like, imagine trying to explain this exchange to someone who wasn't around for the specific cultural moment. You need like a whole paragraph just to explain what these few words get across so easily between them. It's really quite something how much info is packed in there. Relying on this assumed deep common understanding of, specific videos, visual cues, performance styles.
Yeah. What really stands out as we sort of wrap this up is just the incredible efficiency of language when it's built on that shared cultural experience. This short back and forth about the Ludacris video and the Ludacris bitch, it was just loaded with implied meaning, wasn't it? Packed with cultural references. That really quick question and the strong denial for those who get it, it instantly brings up a very specific, probably visual moment. And that denial, no, I wasn't out there. Like he wasn't that Ludacris bitch all you need right there. Like he was popping it. That was him. Yes, sir. I wasn't doing that. It works so hard to clarify. That wasn't me doing that specific thing. It's about inaction in this case. Maybe the aha moment for you listening was connecting that rapid fire question and denial to a very specific cultural memory, maybe even something you saw yourself.
Mm-mm. And, it does raise a bigger question, I think. In this world where we're just soaked in media, how do these super specific, often instantly understood cultural references actually shape how we all understand events or personalities? Think about how much is communicated right there in that incredibly short, direct question and answer. What does it imply about what those speakers both already knew? And maybe, more critically, what happens down the line?
Yeah.
When the context for those references just fades. When these things that were once so vivid become, I don't know, obscure footnotes, that kind of efficient communication suddenly becomes impossible for someone later. It really makes you think about the lifespan, the lifespan of our shared cultural shorthand.